You think she's losing interest. One day she's warm and affectionate, leaning in, laughing at your jokes, holding eye contact just a little longer than necessary. The next day she feels distant, slower to respond, slightly colder in tone. Sometimes she takes hours to reply. Sometimes she challenges you over something small. And you're left sitting there replaying everything in your head, wondering if you said something wrong, if you moved too fast, if you misread the attraction signs completely. That uncertainty hits hard because in modern dating, mixed signals feel like rejection in slow motion. But here's what most men misunderstand about female psychology. When a woman genuinely likes you, she doesn't just lean in blindly. She doesn't surrender certainty immediately. So instead of committing too quickly, she tests. Not because she wants to sabotage the connection. Not because she enjoys playing games. But because she needs to evaluate stability. She needs to know whether what she feels is safe to invest in. And that evaluation doesn't happen through conversation alone. It happens through subtle pressure. A woman does not test the man she feels nothing for. Indifference requires no calibration. She tests the man she's considering. The one who has potential. The one who can matter. And if you misinterpret those tests as rejection, you'll sabotage something that was actually growing. This is where most men lose momentum in relationship dynamics. They react emotionally to evaluation instead of responding strategically. The first pattern you'll notice is that she challenges your opinions. You say something simple about a movie, a lifestyle choice, a political idea, or even how you handle friendships. Instead of agreeing, she pushes back. She teases. She questions. At first glance, it feels like conflict. But it isn't conflict, it's calibration. She's measuring your emotional stability. If you immediately soften your opinion, to please her, you signal insecurity. If you become defensive or aggressive, you signal instability. But if you stay calm, grounded, maybe even playful, you communicate confidence. The test was never about the topic. It was about your reaction. The second pattern appears right after. A strong moment, you have an amazing date. The chemistry is obvious. The emotional investment feels mutual. Then suddenly, she pulls back slightly. Replies slow down, energy dips. Most men panic at this point. They double text, they over-explain, they increase effort. But what she's subconsciously measuring is whether your confidence depends entirely on her validation. If one shift in her energy causes a visible shift in yours that reveals fragility. If you remain steady, attraction stabilizes instead of collapsing. A common test is when she casually mentions other men. Not aggressively, not provocatively, just subtly. The guy at work said this. My friend invited me out. She's not necessarily trying to provoke jealousy. She's observing your response. If you react with insecurity, territorial energy, or subtle interrogation, she feels pressure. If you remain composed, unaffected, maybe even lightly amused, you demonstrate abundance. And abundance in dating psychology is deeply attractive because it signals you are not emotionally dependent. Sometimes the test is quieter. She delays. Replies, not dramatically, not consistently, but occasionally. This is where many men fail without realizing it. If you immediately send follow-up messages, ask if something is wrong, or change your tone completely, you reveal anxiety. Emotional regulation is one of the most powerful attraction signs in male behavior. When you maintain your pace and don't spiral over response timing, she notices. Women are extremely perceptive to emotional shifts. They sense insecurity faster than you think. Teasing is another layered form of testing. She might call you dramatic. She might joke about your habits. She might challenge your masculinity playfully. This is tension building. It's flirtation wrapped in evaluation. If you become serious or offended, you collapse the polarity. If you respond with humor and grounded confidence, attraction builds. Female psychology responds strongly to emotional playfulness combined with stability. The teasing isn't disrespect. It's exploration. Then there's cancellation with rescheduling. If she cancels once but immediately offers another time, that's not rejection, that's investment. The real test is whether you overreact. If you guilt her, show visible frustration, or emotionally withdraw dramatically, you create pressure. If you calmly accept and hold your standards without emotional charge, you communicate maturity. Emotional maturity is one of the strongest predictors of long-term attraction and dating advice for men. Yet it's rarely practiced consistently. Another subtle pattern appears when she asks indirect future questions. What would you do if your girlfriend did this? Do you believe in relationships? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? These aren't random conversations. She's assessing compatibility without committing directly. She's testing whether you are stable long-term material. Instead of interrogating her intentions, answer honestly and calmly. She's evaluating alignment, not demanding promises. The mistake most men make is treating these moments like attacks. They react emotionally instead of strategically. They personalize every shift. They assume every test is a sign of fading interest, but tests are not rejection. They are evaluation. They are her subconscious asking, "Are you emotionally solid?" If you collapse under small pressure, she questions long-term stability. If you remain grounded, attraction deepens. Emotional stability is the core trait being measured. Not money, not status, not physical dominance. Emotional regulation. Can you handle disagreement without escalating? Can you tolerate uncertainty without spiraling? Can you stay playful under tension? These are the invisible metrics behind attraction signs most men never study. This is female psychology at work beneath the surface. Mixed signals often feel threatening because they create uncertainty. But uncertainty is not always negative. Sometimes it's simply a calibration phase. The man who panics at every temporary shift teaches her that he cannot handle emotional fluctuation. The man who observes patterns instead of reacting to moments becomes steady, and steadiness becomes magnetic. There's another layer here that many dating advice conversations ignore. Testing often happens because she is deciding whether to invest emotionally. Emotional investment feels risky. Women, especially in modern dating environments filled with options and unpredictability, need reassurance of emotional safety. That reassurance doesn't come from words. It comes from consistent behavior under subtle stress. If you remain calm when she challenges you, she feels safe. If you remain centered when she pulls back slightly, she feels secure. If you remain playful when she teases you, she feels polarity. But if you chase, overanalyze, or emotionally escalate, you communicate instability. And instability weakens attraction quietly. This is why overthinking kills momentum. When you interpret every test as rejection, you shift into performance mode. You start trying to say the perfect thing. You start trying to avoid mistakes. But attraction is not built on perfection. It's built on presence. The man who passes tests doesn't overperform. He simply stays aligned with himself. Testing is not about dominance. It's about congruence. Are your words aligned with your emotional state? Are your standards real or flexible under pressure? Do you change who you are when she pushes slightly? These questions are being answered silently in every interaction. The deeper truth is this: a woman doesn't test a man she doesn't see potential in. She tests the one who can matter. That means testing is often a sign of interest, not rejection. But only if you handle it correctly. If you react poorly, the attraction she felt can fade. If you respond with calm confidence, it strengthens. The shift you need to make is simple but powerful. Stop asking, "Why is she doing this?" and start asking, "How am I responding to this?" Because your response determines whether attraction grows or declines. Female psychology rewards emotional steadiness. It withdraws from emotional chaos. If you remain calm under pressure, consistent under distance, and playful under challenge, attraction expands. If you become reactive, needy, or defensive, attraction contracts. Testing isn't sabotage, it's evaluation. And evaluation is part of healthy relationship dynamics. So the next time she shifts slightly, don't panic, observe. Maintain your reserve, maintain your hazip, don't panic. Frame, keep your emotional regulation intact. She's not trying to push you away. She's trying to see whether you can handle staying close. And the man who understands that stops fearing tests. He welcomes them. Because he knows he doesn't have to change who he is to pass. That is strength.